Obviously, we've got a big game Monday night. Means a lot to a lot of people. Looking forward to the challenge and the opportunity. Anxious to see how we're going to respond after a difficult night last night.
How do you guys think you responded last year from the first loss?
I think we responded well. You'd have to correct me. I don't know what happened the game after that or even after that. Huh? Well, obviously LSU game was a knockdown drag out here. Suspended Martha, if I remember right. She didn't play. We certainly had our opportunities to win that ball game. That was a really tough game. Dominique literally tried to carry us to victory. So I would say we responded in a real positive way last year and competed very high.
What can you ask your kids to maybe take from that and how you responded last season after having a big winning streak and a loss? And then is there any correlation to this season?
Well, we'll see. I mean, I think, Adam, that's, one game doesn't define you. And as I told the girls last night, but how you respond might. And I think the thing we take from a ball game like last night is our youth really showed, our inexperience really showed. You really miss Kendra, JJ, and Martha and Savannah in last night's ball game where communication's a premium defensively. You got to talk when you're switching. Your help has to be outstanding. And, I just think we really struggled with that last night, not to mention shooting 27%. But this is a different team in a different year. And this group is not an easy read. And so, we'll see how film goes today. The film doesn't lie. And it won't be, if you care, it won't be pleasant. But it's necessary, and we've got to learn from it and then try to get better.
You evaluate Victoria's performance. Seemed like she was on and off last night.
It's just average. I mean, she's shooting the ball 33% in the league. Defensively, she's still struggles at times. I'd like her to go rebound a little bit more on the offensive end, and she doesn't. Free throw shooting is, on the year, it's not great. In conference, it's, I think, 70. So I think there's so much room for improvement there as well as with all of our kids. But, I think there's a lot to get done and still with her, and I think she understands that. So.
You've had some battles with Ole Miss during your 3 years here, going into your 4th year. What have you seen from that rivalry during your time?
Well, I think as with just probably any sport, you can throw the records out, and that kids are going to play hard, compete hard. It's a game that's meaningful to so many people. There's not anybody that sits in the middle. It doesn't seem like in this rivalry. You're either on one side or the other, or you're either in or you're out, so to speak. And so I expect them to come in here and play really hard, and I would be disappointed if we didn't.
Last season, you guys had a great crowd. You set a record. And obviously, you guys have got some promotions coming up for history and impacting the place. But how much do you hope, or are you confident that you're going to have a similar kind of atmosphere that you had last year?
Well, here's what I'll say about our promotions. Our promotions don't entail any free tickets, to my knowledge, or cheap tickets. And so, I expect us to have a great crowd Monday night. I'll be shocked if it's, not 7,000 or 8,000 people. And so we had a great crowd for Arkansas. And so I think Monday night will be a great opportunity for us as Bulldogs and Mississippi State University to really showcase our program and on national TV. So.
You mentioned the shooting, 27% shooting, and there was a bunch of turnovers too. What kind of happened offensively?
Well, we had 10 turnovers, but which isn't too bad. But the shooting is just, you can go down the list. We were 13 for 54 with my starting 5. 13 for 54. Dom was 3 for 14. Katera was 1 for 11. Victoria was 5 for 15. Chinway didn't even get a shot off. Okay, that's my starting five. Morgan was maybe 2 for 10. So, you know, you're not going to win any games from here on out shooting that way. And I think, you know, Missouri was content allowing certain players to shoot certain shots, and for whatever reason, it just wasn't going. You know, we've gotten those shots all year long and certainly hadn't shot 27%. But, you know, last night was just one of those nights. Even T went 4 for 10, but even she struggled with some of her stickbacks. And she's shooting the ball at the cup, you know, and going 4 for 10. So, but Chinway not getting a shot off, that's a pretty incredible stat. So it's one game, like I said, like I told them, it's one game. You got beat by a top 25 on the road. You look across the country in both men's and women's basketball. You got Duke's men losing on the road to an unranked Clemson. You got Ohio State losing last night in women's basketball, number 5 in the country, to an unranked Northwestern. You got Tennessee losing to an unranked Arkansas on the road. So, you know, Georgia goes on the road and beats Florida, a ranked Florida team. So, I mean, I just think there's a lot of parity. And I think, again, on a night when we don't play well, and, again, last night really, and deservedly so, has to be about Missouri. They really played well, and we just didn't respond. You know, we got down that first quarter and really never recovered. And we played them, I think, we beat them by one, and lost by 2 in the last 3 quarters. So, but we got down 20 before we fought back to 11. Missed a layup right at half on an out-of-bounds play that would have cut it to 9. We had the ball with a chance to cut it to 6 or 5, and we had a turnover. That led to a layup. We come back down, throw it right back to them, they go get another layup. So instead of cutting it to 6 or 5, we're down 12. And that's how the game goes. You know, it can get away from you in a hurry. And so.
You mentioned the communication issues or whatever. Were those evident earlier in the season, or have they been evident?
Oh, yeah.
Was it just something that they exploited?
Well, I think what Missouri causes you to do is really have to communicate, because they are doing so much screening and so many different things offensively. And so communication has been something we've harped on and talked about all year long. And, you know, we've got some kids that are real outgoing and not very outgoing on the floor, and then we've got some quiet kids that certainly aren't very outgoing on the floor. And so that's a unique combination, but in any case, neither one's good when it comes to playing basketball. So, you know, it's just the nature of our team right now, and again, compounded last night on the road. They had a nice crowd and a really good basketball team to deal with.
I know you're just coming off last night's game. Have you seen anything Ole Miss at all to know what their strengths are?
Yeah, you know, they're really athletic, got a lot of quickness and speed. They're going to press us. Play pretty hard, and so those are all things that at times can give us some issues, and so we're going to have to be ready to go Monday night, and I'm sure we will be.
Bree's still day to day.
Yeah, Bree, yeah, she's, I guess it's been a few days, and you just have to be really careful with that, and we have been.
Logan asked you about the rivalry earlier. The fact that you were saying 7,000 to 8,000 for Mississippi State over this women's basketball. What does that say about women's basketball in the state of Mississippi? That 3 or 4 years ago you'd be hard-pressed to get more than 1,000.
Sure. Well, again, and I'm really proud of our crowds. Again, we have free pizza and some T-shirts and things like that, but it isn't like we're going out and giving away 1,000 tickets, you know. So our crowds have all been very legitimate, and I think it says a lot about our state, which is a tremendous state, and the support for women's basketball. I don't think it'll be our largest crowd this year, to be honest with you. It may be, but we've got some other teams coming in, and you know, I think as the season goes, if we do our part, again, we're still winning fans over. We're winning people that come to see us play once, they come back, and you know, it was a cold, drizzly day when we played Arkansas, and we had 5,700. So, really proud of our fan base and what we've been able to do, and proud to be in the state of Mississippi and really seeing it, being a part of it.
How much perspective do you add into the locker room after a loss that it is only the second, it was on the road against a top 25 team, and you know, a couple of years ago that was whatever. Now it's just a second loss, and now it seems like the sky is falling.
Ellen, I had to make that statement this morning in my staff meeting. You know, the sky's not falling. You know, we're 16-2, 3-1 in the league. You know, we've got some issues that we've got to address, which I've been trying to address even after in victory, because I know these things can compound over the course of time if you don't. And so some of these things I've been addressing even in victory. And part of that, you know, what you hear me talk about in here when we're sitting up here and we've beaten somebody by 40, that's what we're talking about. You can beat somebody by 40 that's not very good or not on the level you are and still have those issues. But when you go on the road and play a top 25, that's when they rear their head and become, you know, obviously a whole lot more of a problem. And so we'll continue to coach and teach. Our young ladies have got great kids. I love them to death. But as I told them last night, it's hard to have fun when you're getting beat. You know, we want basketball to be fun, and it's important that we have a good time, but it's hard to have fun when you're getting your tail handed to you. And, you know, I think they would agree with that and certainly understand that. And so.
The fact that the team is, I'm not sure what word you used, is how you read the team, how it's not easy to read. How does that make addressing the issues that you talked about?
Well, the issues are glaring. That's easy for me to read. I can handle that. I guess my comment about reading my team has more to do with preparation and you know, things maybe along those lines and some other lines that probably we don't need to talk about. But I think again, these issues, you know, these things are shooting percentages. Now we've had these shooting percentages for a while, and so, you know, the way to fix that's get in the gym and work on it. And so, in any case, we've got to get in the gym and work on it.
Or take different shots. Are you, I don't know if afraid is the right word, but do you see yourself, or the team, I'm sorry, doing the same things over and over again and not learning?
Yeah, certain players. I think we certain players do sometimes have habits and tend to fall into some bad habits at times. And again, that's my job as a coach to break that habit and teach good habits. And so it's all falls squarely on my shoulders as the head coach. I've got to do a better job coaching and teaching. You know, I wrote things on the board last night. You know, energy and effort, communication, preparation, coaching, all those things. And, you know, we finished second last night. That's, you know, I have to wear that too as the head coach. I'm responsible, and I want to be responsible. And so now, again, how I respond today with them, how they respond, that's what defines you in life. It's easy when things are going great. It's how you respond in trying times and when things are tough. That's what defines you. And so we're in one of those, and you're going to be in several of those during the course of the season, but we're in one of those situations now where how will we respond after last night? Again, got beat 10. Played absolutely the worst game of the year. Shot 27%. Starting five went 13 for 54. Don't feel like we defended the way we're supposed to. And yet, at the end of the day, it's a 10-point loss on the road to number 24 in the country. So, the sky's not falling. I know this, I've got a competitive group. I've got some competitors. And hopefully they've had a little hard time sleeping like the coach did last night.